Hey, good afternoon, and welcome to our lunchtime flow. Today, let's start in a seated position. So you can just sit directly on your mat, or if you'd like, and you've got a pillow or blanket that you'd like to sit up onto or a block, you can set that up. And then just finding your comfortable shape. Settling here, connecting with your breath. Just taking a moment to notice how you're breathing. Noticing how you're feeling, doing a bit of a body scan, just noticing the different sensations that are happening in the body at this moment, noticing how you've arrived on your mat. Let's start to sit up nice and tall, lifting up through the crown of the head and reach the arms out wide, flipping the palms up to face the ceiling. And just notice if the low ribs start to lift up, and just hug the ribs down, right? Extend out through the fingertips, right? Relax the shoulders. And then start to extend into the wrists so that the fingertips start to face towards the mat. Maybe start to notice a sensation of stretch through the inner lines of the arms. Right? Can you just push out through those wrists just a little more? Just finding that stretch. And then flipping the palms back up. Start to curl the fingers in and wrap the thumbs around the fingers, making a fist. Start to turn the knuckles up towards the ceiling. And then maybe start to feel a sensation of stretch across the outer lines of the arms. And just holding here for a couple more breaths. And then release the hands, release the arms to your sides. Maybe do a couple of shoulder rolls here. And then once again, reach the arms out wide, sitting up tall. Start to twist to the right. Hold in your twist. Start to lower the right arm back behind you, stretching the left arm up. Rise up through your twist, lowering the left arm down in front and sweeping the right arm overhead. And let's do that once again. Rising up through your twist, setting the right hand behind you, reaching the left arm over. Coming back through your twist, lowering the left hand down, reaching the right arm up, and rising back up. Let's unwind to center and start to twist to the left. Set the left hand out behind you and reach the right arm over. Rising up through center, let's set that right hand down and stretch the left arm up. And one more time, coming up through your twist. Setting the left hand behind you and stretching the right arm overhead. And then rising up, let's lower the right hand. Sweep that left arm up. Then coming back up, let's unwind to center and lower the arms down to your sides. Again, you can do a couple of shoulder rolls here. And then make your way into tabletop. Spread the fingers wide. Shoulders stacked above wrists or slightly behind, with toes tucked under or tops of the feet on the mat. On your next breath, let's start to scoop the spine, dropping the belly and sending the heart forward. Take your gaze up. And next breath, start to round through the spine. Lower the head and tuck the tailbone, coming into cat. And finding your way back into cow. And just a couple more cycles of cat and cow. And just going at your pace. Moving as slow or as fast as you like. You can pause at any point through this movement to hold the stretch. And return to center. Start to walk the hands over to the right side of the mat and step the left foot forward. Sweeping arms up and over, coming into low lunge. Start to stretch the arms over to the left. Rooting through that left foot, just hug the left hip back and lengthen across the right side. Sweeping arms up through center and start to reach over to the right. Rise back up to center and then sweeping hands down onto the mat, lifting the right knee up, step the right foot forward, coming into standing forward fold. Lift and lengthen halfway, folding forward once again. Rise up to stand and circle arms up and over, and then right away diving forward, returning back into standing forward fold. Lifting up halfway, extend out through the crown of the head. Let's fold forward and plant the hands, stepping the feet back, finding your plank, knees up or knees down, and lower all the way down onto the mat. Untuck the toes, pressing the tops of the feet into the mat, pulling the hands back. Start to rise up into your back bend and lower all the way back down. And then push back into your tabletop. And we'll do that same flow, other side. Walking the hands over to the left side of the mat. Stepping the right foot forward. Sweeping arms up and over for low lunge. Reach the arms over to the right. Get long across the left side. Sweep arms up through center and stretch over to the right or left. Keep rooting through that right foot. Pull that right hip back. Rise up to center and then set the hands down, tucking the left toes under. Lift that left knee up and step the left foot forward, coming into standing forward fold. Lift and lengthen halfway. Fold forward. Push feet down into the mat. Rise up to stand and sweep arms up and over. And then dive forward, coming back into standing forward fold. Lift up halfway. Keep the back of the neck long. Fold forward and plant the hands. Stepping feet back into your plank. And then lowering down onto the mat. Untuck the toes, pressing the feet down. Start to rise up for your cobra. And lower back down. And push back into tabletop. And we'll start to add on to our flow. Let's walk the hands over to the right side of the mat. Stepping the left foot forward. Sweeping arms up and over. Let's stretch the arms over to the right. Sweep them up through center and reach to the left. Rise back up to center and start to twist to the left, reaching arms out wide. Hold in your twist. Start to lower that left arm down and stretch the right arm up. Rise up into your twist and plant the right hand down, reaching the left arm up. On your next breath, sweep that left arm under the right and stretch back up. Let's plant that left hand down. Tuck the right toes under and lift the right knee up. Walking hands forward a little. Start to shift the weight forward, maybe balancing up onto the right toes. And then step the right foot forward next to the left into standing forward fold. Lift and lengthen halfway and fold forward. Rise up to stand. Sweep arms up and over and dive forward. Coming back into standing forward fold. Lift up halfway. Extend out through the crown of the head and pull the shoulders back. Fold forward and plant the hands. Step the feet back, returning into your plank. Knees up or knees down and lower down onto the mat. Untuck the toes and curl up for your cobra. And then lowering back down and pushing back into tabletop. And we'll do that flow on the other side. Walking hands over to the left side of the mat. Step the right foot forward. Sweep arms up and over. Let's reach to the right. Sweeping up through center and stretch to the left. Coming back to center. Start to twist to the right. Take the arms out wide. Lowering the right arm back and stretching the left arm up. Rise up through your twist. Start to plant the left hand down, reaching that right arm up. And let's thread that right arm under the left and then open back up. Plant the right hand down and tuck the left toes under, lifting the left knee up, walking the hands forward. Start to shift the weight forward, balancing onto the left toes, and then step that left foot forward next to the right for standing forward fold. Lift and lengthen halfway and fold forward, pressing feet down into the mat. Rise up to stand and stretch the arms up and over. Folding forward, coming back into standing forward fold. Lift up halfway, fold forward again, planting hands and stepping the feet back for your plank. Again, knees up or knees down. Lower down onto the mat and untuck the toes. Press the feet down, start to rise up, lifting up through the crown of the head, lowering back down, and then push back into tabletop. And then we'll start to add on to our flow. Let's walk our hands over to the right side of the mat. Step that left foot forward. Sweeping arms up and over for our low lunge. Start to twist to the left. Keep the arms out wide. Lowering that left arm back and stretching that right arm up. Rise up through your twist. Start to tuck the back toes under and then lift that right knee up. Right, coming into this twisting lunge. Start to straighten into that left leg, reaching arms up overhead. And then reaching arms out wide, bending back into that left knee. Let's do that 2 more times. Straighten the leg, stretching arms up, bending the knee, reach the arms back out. Last time, straighten the left leg, reaching arms up, bending back into the knee, stretching the arms out. Let's plant that right hand down, stretch the left arm up, and then sweep that left arm under the right, opening back up. Let's plant that left hand down, walking the hands forward, shifting the weight forward, right? Maybe even lifting that right leg up, and then step the right foot forward next to the left for standing forward fold. Lift up halfway, unfurl the spine and send the heart forward. Folding forward. Let's rise up to stand, stretching arms up and over, and right away, diving forward. Lift up halfway, fold forward and plant the hands, stepping feet back. Find your plank and lowering down onto the mat. Untuck the toes. Start to curl up for your back bend. Lowering back down and push back into tabletop to do that same flow on the other side. Let's walk the hands to the left. Step the right foot forward. Sweep arms up and over for low lunge. Start to twist to the right. Keep the arms out wide. Lowering that right arm back. Rise back up into your twist. Tucking the left toes under. Start to lift that left knee up. Staying here in your twisting lunge. Start to straighten that right leg and reach both arms up overhead. Bending back into the knee, taking the arms out wide. 2 more times. Straighten and stretch up. Bend the knee and reach the arms out. Last time. Straightening the leg, reaching arms up. Bending back into that knee, taking the arms out to the sides. Let's plant that left hand down, reach the right arm up, and then let's sweep the right arm under the left. Open back up. Plant the right hand down and just walk the hands forward. Start to shift the weight forward, maybe even lifting the left leg up. Step the left foot forward, coming into your fold, lifting up halfway, lengthen the spine, fold forward, and then rise up to standing. Sweep arms up and over, and lower back down into your forward fold. Coming up halfway, extend out through the crown of the head, folding forward and planting hands, stepping feet back, coming into your plank, and then lowering down onto the mat, untucking the toes, pulling the hands towards the back of the mat, curling up into your back bend, and then lowering back down. And then let's push back into child's pose. You can take arms forward or back, or you can bend the elbows and stack the hands and rest the forehead onto hands. Taking a moment here to pause. Find your breath and just noticing how you're breathing, noticing how you're feeling. And then coming back up into your tabletop. Let's walk the hands over to the right side of the mat and step the left foot forward next to the hands. Tuck the right toes under and lift that right knee up. Pivot onto the sole of the right foot and then bending into the left arm, placing the arm onto the left thigh and reach the right arm over for extended side angle. Press through that right foot, grow tall and long across the right side. Lift the heart up towards the ceiling. And then next breath, rise up into your warrior two. Looking over the left hand, flipping the palm up, lower the right hand down, reach the left arm up. Coming back into your warrior two. Start to straighten into that front leg. And once again, flip the left palm up, lower the right hand down, and stretch the left arm over for reverse triangle. Rising up through center, start to hinge forward, and then lower the left hand onto the left leg and reach the right arm up for triangle. Extend out through the crown of the head, right, widen across the chest. Turning to look down towards the toes, let's sweep that right arm under the left and open back up. Once again, thread that right arm under and open back up. Last time, thread the arm under and open up. This time, let's lower the right arm down, right? And then just remove your left hand off of the leg. Take the back of that right hand and place it against the outside of the left calf. Left hand onto the right palm. So palms together, hands together in prayer. Start to slide the arms down. Start to bend into that left knee. Spin the right heel up. Bend into elbows, taking hands to heart center, finding your twisting prayer lunge. Hold here in your lunge. Right, again, lengthen the spine. Extend out through the crown of the head. Maybe hug that left hip back. Lift the inner right thigh up. And then unwind, coming to center, still tipping the torso forward slightly. And then on your next breath, step that right foot forward next to the left. Coming into sort of a half forward fold, reaching the arms out in front. Let's rise up to stand, stretching both arms up. And then right away, dive forward, coming into standing forward fold. Lift and lengthen halfway, folding forward and planting the hands, stepping feet back into plank, either knees up or knees down, lowering down onto the mat. Let's untuck the toes, start to curl up for your back bend, and then lowering back down. And let's push back into tabletop. And we'll do that same flow on the other side. Walking hands to the left side of the mat. Step the right foot forward next to the hands. Tuck the left toes under and lift the left knee up. Pivot onto the sole of that left foot. Bending into the right arm, placing it onto the thigh, and sweep the left arm overhead for extended side angle. Lift the heart up, lift up through the crown of the head, and stretch all the way out through the fingers. Rise up into warrior two. Right? Stacking spine over pelvis. Right? Maybe bend a little deeper into your lunge. Flipping the right palm up. Lowering the left arm back. And reaching the arm up overhead for reverse warrior. Coming back into warrior 2. Let's straighten that right leg. Again, flipping the right palm up. Let's take a reverse triangle. And then coming back up through center, start to hinge forward, lowering the right hand onto the right leg, and take the left arm up for triangle pose. Keep the chest open, lifting up through the crown of the head. Let's sweep that left arm under the right, and then open back up. 2 more times, taking the arm under, reaching back up. And last time, thread it under the right, and then open back up. Turning to look down towards the toes, and just taking the right arm out to the side. Let's take the left hand down, placing the back of that left hand to the outside of the right leg, and then right palm to left palm. So hands in prayer. Start to slide the arms down. Start to bend into that right knee. Spin the left heel up, bending into the elbows, taking hands to heart center for twisting prayer lunge on the other side. And just holding here in your shape. Right, maybe find just a little bit more rotation. And then unwind. Right, turning the torso forward, but still leaning forward. Next breath, let's step that left foot forward next to the right. Reach the arms up overhead for your half forward fold. Rise up to stand. And then right away, diving forward. Lift up halfway. Folding forward and planting the hands. Stepping feet back. Coming into your plank. And then lower all the way down onto the mat. Untuck the toes. Pull the hands back and lift up for your back bend. Lower all the way back down. And then push back into child's pose. Taking a moment to pause once again. You can take any variation for the arms. And then make your way into downward facing dog. Just taking your time, setting up into your downward dog. Taking a few breaths here, maybe taking some movements like pedaling out the feet, maybe swaying hips from side to side. And then coming back to center. Bend the knees deeply. Look forward to the hands and either hop or walk to the top of the mat for forward fold. Lift up halfway. Keep the spine long. Keep the back of the neck long. Fold forward and press the feet down into the mat. Rise up to stand. Stretching arms up overhead. And then taking arms out to your sides for mountain pose. Take hands to heart center. And just feel the weight through the feet. Start to shift the weight into the left foot and lift the right knee up. Right, flex the right foot. And then let's start to twist to the right. You can rest the left hand onto the leg and just extend the right arm out behind you. Let's unwind, come back to center, reaching arms up overhead. Start to tip forward and step the right leg back behind you, coming into high lunge. Taking hands to heart center, start to twist to the left, taking the elbow to the outside of that left knee. Unwind, still leaning forward, maybe stepping the right foot in slightly, and then start to kick that right leg up, finding warrior 3. Right, try to level the hips, lift up through that inner right thigh, hug that left hip back, and then extend out through the crown of the head. Reaching the arms forward, start to rise up to stand, lifting that right knee back up, and then step the right leg down. Take arms to your sides for mountain pose. And then we'll do that same flow on the other side. Hands to heart center. Again, just focusing on the weight through the feet. Shifting the weight into the right foot. Start to lift the left knee up. Let's twist to the left. Taking the right hand onto the leg, reaching that left arm out behind. Unwind to center, reaching the arms up overhead. Start to lean forward and let's step that left leg back, coming into high lunge. Hands to heart center. Let's twist to the right. Take the elbow out to the outside of that right knee. Right, lift up through the crown of the head and maybe find a little bit more rotation. And then unwind. Still leaning forward, maybe taking a small step forward in that left foot. And then start to lift the left leg up, coming into warrior 3 on the other side. Reaching arms forward, start to rise up to stand. Lift that left knee up, and then step the left foot down and lower the arms to your sides. Coming back into mountain pose. Next breath, sweep the arms up and over, diving forward, coming into standing forward fold. Lift and lengthen halfway, folding forward and planting hands, stepping feet back, coming into your plank. Let's lower all the way down onto the mat. Untuck the toes and take arms to your sides with the palms face up. And on your next breath, start to lift up. Lift the legs, lift the arms up. Lift up through the crown of the head. Just hold here. Keep breathing. And lower back down. And let's do that 2 more times. Next breath, rising up. Lifting arms and legs away from the mat. Sending the heart forward. Keep the back of the neck long. And then lowering back down. 1 more time. Rising up. Curling up. Extend out through the fingers. Extend out through the toes. Maybe take everything up just a little higher. And then lower all the way back down. Hands by the low ribs. And push back into child's pose. And just keep the arms forward this time in your child's pose. And staying in child's pose, let's start to walk the hands over to the right. Maybe lean towards the left. And you can even take the left hand and stack it on top of the right. And just really stretch across the left side body. And then walking hands through center, take them over to the left. Lean towards the right. Option to stack the right hand on top of the left. And just find your stretch across the right side. And then coming back to center. Let's shift forward into tabletop. Let's extend the right leg out behind us and flex the foot. Start to outer rotate that right leg. Sweep it out to the side and step the right foot down. Walk the hands in towards you and then rise up, sweeping arms up and over. Let's lower the right hand to the outside of the right thigh and stretch the left arm over for gate pose. Rise back up through center and then sweep the hands down onto the mat. Lifting the right leg up, sweep it out behind you. Take it past the left leg and bend the right knee. Tuck it behind the left knee and then just sit the hips back any amount. And shift forward and untuck the legs. Come back into tabletop and we'll do that same flow on the other side. Extending the left leg out behind you. Foot is flexed. Outer rotate that left leg and sweep the left leg out to the side. Step the left foot down. Walk the hands in, reaching arms up and over. And then lower the left hand down. Reach that right arm over for gate pose on the other side. Rise up through center, arms up and over. And then taking hands down onto the mat, lift that left leg up, sweep it out behind you. Take it past the right leg and bend the knee. Tuck it behind the right knee. And once again, just start to sit the hips back any amount. Shifting forward into tabletop. And then untuck the legs. And then just start to sit onto your mat. Take the legs out in front. Let's keep the right leg extended out to the side. Bend into that left leg and take the sole of the left foot along the inside of the right leg. Let's flex the right foot and hug the right hip down. And just take a gentle twist to the left. You can hold the left knee with the right hand. Maybe sit up a little taller and just find a little bit more rotation. And then holding here in your twist, start to sweep the left arm up and over. And we'll take a side stretch and start to lean over the right leg. And extend out through the fingertips. Right? Just find your stretch. And then rise back up. Lower the hand. And then unwind and turn to face the right leg. Sitting up nice and tall. Start to hinge forward any amount. Right hands can be on either side of the right leg, or you can hold anywhere along the leg. Lift up through the crown of the head. Maybe hinge a little further. And then start to round through the spine. Lower the head down towards the leg and stretch across the back body. And then rise back up. And then let's go to the other side. Extend the left leg out to the side. Bend into the right knee, sole of the right foot along the inside of the left leg. Flex the left foot and hug the thigh down into the mat. Sitting up tall, start to twist to the right. Resting that right hand on or left hand onto the right knee. Maybe sit up a little taller. Just find a little bit more rotation. And then setting up our side bend, reaching that right arm up. Sweep it up and over. Start to lean over the left leg and stretch that right arm overhead. Rising back up, lowering the right arm down. Unwind and turn to face the left leg. Sitting up nice and tall. Start to hinge at the hips. Right? You can rest hands on the leg or just set them on the mat. Maybe lifting up a little taller and then just leaning forward a little more. And then start to round through the back and just lower the head. Right? Stretch all across the back. And then rise up back to a seat. Extend the right leg out. Make your way down onto your mat. And then let's just hug the knees in towards the chest. Rock a little from side to side. And then when you're ready, you can release the legs out along the mat. And just setting up into your final relaxation pose. So you can take Shavasana here if that feels supportive to you. You could do a seated meditation or take any pose that you'd like to close your practice with. Just allowing the body to relax. Right? Allow the breath to soften. Right? Allowing the body to remember the work. And I will leave you here so that you can take as long as you like in your final relaxation. And thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. It's always an honor and always a joy to share this practice. Sending gratitude for our practice and gratitude for our community. Wishing you a beautiful rest of the day. Peace.